It's time for the MadDawg Show, coming to you from the heart of the Bulldog Nation. The MadDawg Show is proudly sponsored by Alex Smith Garden Design, Griffin Lumber and Hardware, The Sanford Company, Sellers Construction, Bib Distributing, Butler Automotive, Pelicano Construction, The Dog Bones, Go Clean Co., Macon Monogramming, Fincher's Barbecue, Bulldog Illustrated, Cranford Chiropractic, Wapaw Oil, and now, here he is, the MadDawg.
So, very thrilled today to have a special guest, which is one of Macon's favorite daughters, and that is Kristin Banks. What's up, Kristin?
Hey, how are you?
I am excited to talk to you because you are like a local legend. I mean, everybody loves the Banks family, right? I mean, everybody loves Chandler. Everybody loves your parents. Everybody at some point has bought something from Capital Cycle. I was just talking to you about I need to come talk to your dad about a helmet. And you've gone on to carve your own path out in the world, grew up a dog, then went to Ole Miss, now in Dallas. You're very successful in the medical field, but you've also got another job, which is in broadcasting. So tell us about that.
So I grew up in Macon. You already knew that. And my dad owns a dealership, which we were just talking about. So I grew up around motocross and motorcycles, and he actually had 2 dirt bike tracks. And long story short, I went to college. It started out with football. I was a sports reporter at Ole Miss, actually. Love football. I'm just one of those girls that love sports. You either like sports or you don't. Love sports. And I decided, I was like, you know what? I actually do want to do this motocross thing. So I started doing arena cross, and it's basically indoor motorcycle racing in arenas. The goal is to do supercross one day, which is in NFL stadiums, but we're working our way up there. And then this year, I recently started doing IHRA, which is drag racing, which has been a whole nother thing. But I've decided that I just like motorsports in general. Like if there's a big motor, if it's loud, if it's fast, sign me up. I love it.
Well, you're a rare breed of somebody that can actually go into that sport, talk about it, and it be authentic because you were raised in it.
Right.
I mean, all that's not like you went out and got an education on that sport. You were literally raised in that world, and so kind of tell us about that world because I really don't know much about it.
So I tell people it's kind of weird because most of the people you meet, sadly, they grew up in the world and they never left. Like for me, obviously grew up in it, was at a race every weekend. And it's funny because when I went off to college at Ole Miss, sorry, hotty toddy, I told my parents, I was like, I never want to go to a race again. I want nothing to do with this. Like that has been my entire life. And then you go off to college and you're like, wait, I really miss this sport. But the way that I would explain, and so I found my way back, but the way that I would explain, like I don't know, it's just a lot of like blue collar, down to earth people that work hard to do something that they love and like to go after their dreams, I feel like. So that's why I kind of get along with them because I was raised in the South, and it's not just everyone from the South, but I just feel like it's a collective group of people that are your average, like blue collar, work hard to do something that they love. So I love it. And my passion and goal in life is to get everyone else to love motocross as much as I do, because not a lot of people know about it.
So to a certain extent, do you have to kind of have a little bit of an adrenaline junkie in you, kind of have that gene?
I mean, I feel like you do. Like every time I go to a race, like when they're on the gate and they're like revving their bike, like about to go, my heart starts I'm like, let's go. Like I get excited and get pumped up. But I mean, so I'm naturally adrenaline junkie. And so I like run off of the gas fumes and stuff. But I don't know, like if you don't have that kind of adrenaline junkie, if you going to a race, I feel like you would still get amped up, excited. I mean, you see guys crashing, you see fights at my thing. They'll get in fights sometimes. Like it's crazy. It's fun though.
So have you gotten any fights? No, I'm just kidding. I know you haven't gotten any fights. Have you had any just over the course of your life, any bad injuries?
I have not. Knock on wood, I've never broken a bone or anything. I have you probably can't see it now because I put a little makeup in it, but I got a scar on my eyebrow. And the way that I got it is this is actually the only time that I've ever had anything happen. I was with a bunch of motorcycle guys at a pool. My dad was there. I was like 3. They're doing like gainers, back flips, front flips off a diving board. And so I don't know if I had a life jacket on. I don't even know if I could swim yet. But you know when you're just learning to swim, how you jump to the side of the pool?
Yep.
So I literally tried to do a front flip to the side of the pool because I saw all these guys doing it and I wanted to be just like them, and hit my eye right on the concrete of the side of the pool. So that's all I got. Some stitches here, but other than that,
you can't see it. You can't see it.
I always
All right.
with pencil.
So you kind of, I think, got your start in the sports world with Mercer.
Yes. So that's actually how I originally started. I'm pretty sure Bob Hoffman, I don't know if you remember him. He was the basketball coach at Mercer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know if he was friends with my dad, my grandpa, somebody contacted him and was like, hey, I think my granddaughter, I'm pretty sure it's my grandpa, because I think he had season tickets to basketball games. Like, she did sports reporting at Ole Miss. She's looking to like continue doing it. And so that's where I first got my start, basketball. And then from there, I did Mercer football, which I loved. And I did that for, oh my gosh, at least like 3 or 4 years, I feel like, until I moved to Dallas. And that was really hard to keep commuting back, and I had arena cross. So it kind of fizzled out.
And so what you did for Mercer, was that ESPN3?
Yeah, so ESPN Plus, ESPN3, it kind of off, yeah.
Okay. That's very cool.
It was awesome. I loved it. I mean, I did love football, don't get me wrong. But then when I did moto, there was just something about, there's honestly 1,000 girls that want to do football. And there's not that many girls that want to do moto and like are passionate about it. And when you put them side by side, I'm so much more passionate about motocross stuff than I am football. But don't get me wrong, like, I love football. Every off weekend I have, I try to go to a game. Like, if Ole Miss makes it to the playoffs, I will be at a game.
All right. Ole Miss is going to make the playoffs. We're going to get to them in a second. All right. Mercer. Okay. I am that guy out there saying, hey, everybody, Auburn, don't overlook Mercer this year, because they're 9-1. If you look at the ESPN, analytics and the game predictor, most of the time when you're playing, a quote unquote no name,
right,
it'll be Auburn has a 99% chance of winning, or greater than 99. They have a less than 1. They got a 6% chance. And I mean, if you want to talk about a trap game, this is a trap game. When you have Mercer for homecoming before the Iron Bowl,
yep,
nobody's talking about it but me. But I would just like to go ahead and, at the risk of upsetting my Auburn friends, say that I'm putting you on upset alert against the Mercer Bears. All right, I've said it.
I would love to see it. I mean, are they not SoCon champions for this? I think 2 years in a row, didn't they?
I think so.
Last year and this year. Yeah, they're going into this game confident. I mean, Auburn obviously fired their head coach, which was our old Hugh Freeze was Ole Miss's coach at one point. So, they're going to overlook this game. They're more worried about Alabama, which I don't know. I would low-key love to see Auburn beat Alabama, though. I have to say that here. So I don't know. I think it definitely could be an overlooked game. And, you always know how those turn out.
There's so many times with you. Okay. Going to what I just said about Auburn, because you went to Ole Miss when Hugh Freeze was coach there, and you attended both games when Ole Miss beat Alabama, correct?
I did. I was there when we tore down the field goal post. So that year in Oxford, this is like Mercer beating Auburn at that time. I'm not even kidding. Like, Ole Miss did not have a chance at all. We were just a nobody school at that time. And long story short, we won. We beat Alabama at home. We rushed the field. I was on the second row in the student section, rushed the field, tore down the field goal post. And I'll have to show you a picture one day. There's a picture of the field goal post going down. And there's a guy at the very top of the upright. And it's one of my guy friends, Jack Pickering. And it's like the coolest picture ever. It was on like the front of a magazine or something. And long story short, Katy Perry was there. She was in the middle of the field. Like, it was The whole moment was surreal. And then I was also with everyone when we took the field goal post to the square. So we walked it all the way from the field to the square of Oxford, like a moment I'll never forget. And then the next year we went to Alabama and everyone said we couldn't do it again. And we did it again. And it was awesome.
I take it that when you were at that game, y'all did not tear down the goalposts.
No, we did not tear. We did not. We had to act like we belonged there at that point.
Right. Well,
It's
I mean,
just
gosh.
like Vandy this year. Did you see? Was it Van? Yeah, no. Was it Vandy against LSU or Alabama? Somebody was like, the most disrespectful thing is the fact that Vandy didn't rush the field. It was against LSU because they beat LSU. That's what it was.
Yeah, it's disrespectful that they didn't because they're like, yeah,
Yeah,
you're supposed to beat them.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how we had to act the second time, like we belonged there.
Talk about a core memory of tearing down the goalpost with Katy Perry, taking them to the square in Oxford. And by the way, I love Oxford. I feel like that there is zero rivalry between Ole Miss and Georgia because the fans are really, really similar.
Yeah.
A lot of Georgia people grew up as Georgia fans, ended up going to Ole Miss. Great college towns. And y'all got a great coach now in Lane Kiffin, who the whole world is trying to hire.
Yep.
And you and I are both of the opinion that he's going to flirt with everybody and stay right where he is. So talk about that.
So I think he is like a master manipulator, I guess, media manipulator. And he loves making Ole Miss fans like myself sweat. But I am fully confident in the fact that he's staying at Ole Miss. And I'm going to tell you my reasoning why. My first reasoning is that his son, no, I'll start off by him. He's a changed person. He came to Oxford. He quit drinking. He started focusing on his health. He does hot yoga all the time. And he's just a changed, more family-oriented guy. His daughter goes to Ole Miss. His son moved to Oxford and just got the starting quarterback position at Oxford High School, and he's killing it. His ex-wife just moved to Oxford. So to Lane, Oxford is his home. And I think his brother's there. Everyone's there. There's no way he's leaving. He even called it a velvet ditch. That's what everybody calls it, like somewhere where you're comfortable and you can't get out of. So I really don't think he's leaving, but is he going to flirt with Florida and flirt with LSU? Yes. And he's going to make y'all believe that he is. But at the end of the day, he knows where his loyalty lies, and it is with Oxford. He can kind of do what he wants to do. Because he's making us sweat, we're going to raise more money to be able to pay him more and not let him go. See, he's smart in that. He's a businessman. He's smart. Like if he just went ahead and said, yes, I'm going to sign an extension, it wouldn't be as much. But like he's making us sweat, so we have to give him some more money, and it's gonna work at the end of the day.
All right, a couple things. One is velvet ditch. Is that a new term? I'm old. Is that something
a term for Oxford? They seriously call it the velvet ditch. And like, I don't know I don't know the Webster dictionary definition of it, but like, just think about how comfortable velvet is. And then you're in a ditch. So you're just in this comfortable.
These curtains are velvet.
Yes. So you're in a comfortable ditch that you can't get out of. Like even when I went to Ole Miss, they called it the velvet ditch. And I'm pretty sure, I haven't been there this year, but I think they have a new bar called Velvet Ditch actually.
That's a great name for a bar. Like a bar you can't get out of there.
Yeah, I'm almost positive because I think I saw Theo Vaughn, the comedian that walked out with Lane Kiffin this weekend. I'm pretty sure I saw a picture of him and someone was like, Theo Vaughn at the Velvet Ditch. So
I just looked up Velvet Ditch on Urban Dictionary. It says a place that is easy to fall into and hard to crawl out of. Oxford, Mississippi is known as the Velvet Ditch. People fall in love with Oxford and never want to leave, aka it's a velvet ditch. So that makes perfect sense.
See, Lane, he fell in love and he's never going to want to leave.
So a couple of things that you said, okay, his daughter's at Ole Miss.
Yep.
His son just moved there. He's a starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
His brother moved there. His ex-wife moved there. Okay, full stop. Based on the kids alone, when you look at his life, and, the amount of travel that he's done as a coach, and the fact that he's a changed person, like you said, he's not drinking, he's into health. Why in the world? He said that there's things more important than money. Why in the world would you uproot your family to go to Gainesville, Florida, or Baton Rouge, Louisiana? I've been to all three places, and if I'm Lane Kiffin, I just like you said, I flirt with everybody else, but then I get my home team to I wouldn't even make them match the money, right? Because then what you said is disingenuous about the money.
Yeah.
Just give him a raise, lock him down, and look, you're going to be a hero there.
See, I think that's exactly like I was saying. Like he could build something like Nick Saban did at Alabama at Ole Miss. Like when he goes to Florida, when you go to LSU, I can't remember who was saying it, but some recent coach of LSU or someone said something along the lines of like they basically told him when he got there, like, hey, this desk isn't yours. Like basically like this is your room for now, but like if you lose, you're gone. And gosh, what did Lane Kiffin said today on the Pat McAfee show that him, Kirby, Sark, they all have a group text. Do you know what I'm about to say? And he's like, you lose one game, you're out of the top 5. You lose 2 games, you're out of the top 10. You lose 3 games, you're out of a job or something like that. Like in the SEC. He said something funny that they talk about in the group text. And he's like, that's what just happened to Brian Kelly at LSU. Yeah. And I think so he knows. And I don't know if you watch the ESPN 30 for 30 or E60, whatever it was that they did on him, I feel like he learned his lesson when he did that to Tennessee. Like, yes, USC looked shinier and brighter and more money and fun. So he leaves Tennessee, does that, and then it's kind of a bust. And I feel like he learned his lesson, and he's not going to do that again.
Well, and then, he's making progress each year. Last year, he barely missed the playoffs. This year, they're in. Mm-hmm. And we're in an age now with NIL and the portal where you don't have an elite team like a 2019 LSU or a 2021 or 22 Georgia. The playing field is so level, and there's parity. And you get Lane Kiffin in a playoff, he's got a puncher's chance just like everybody else.
100%.
In there, and Trinidad catches fire, and they can outscore everybody. And next thing you know, he's won a natty, and I'm not going to be surprised.
Neither am I. I would have been like 3 years ago, not now.
All right. 3 years ago. Let's talk about where you are now.
Okay.
How long have you been to Dallas?
I've been in Dallas since 2020. I moved here like on a whim, honestly.
Oh, Dallas is a great town. I love Dallas. I've got great friends there, family from there. So let's talk a little bit about the tea, so to speak.
The tea.
Did not Lane have a much younger girlfriend for a while?
So, yes. I don't know too much of the tea, but I do know that we actually went to the same hairdresser, and he was dating a girl. Her name was Sally. That's really all I know. I don't know the specifics of like how they met or anything, but hey, he still has game because I'm pretty sure she was younger than me, and I'm in my early 30s. So he definitely still has the game.
And I think we all heard those same rumors. And I mean, now, is he reconciled with his wife? I mean, that's the rumor out there. I mean, are they friends? Are they dating? They're definitely cordial.
I feel like TMZ. I wish I knew, but I honestly have no idea. Like, I saw the other day, I follow him on Instagram. This is where I'm getting all my news. So it's not like I'm just making this stuff up. It's like stuff that he posts. And he like posts a picture of him and his wife or ex-wife on a private plane. And then they're at a concert together with Theo Vaughn and Lainey Wilson. And I can't even remember who else was there. A football player, maybe. Some football players there. I honestly don't know. She just moved to Oxford. That would be amazing because I feel like in that same ESPN documentary, it kind of talks about, it's almost like he chose, not that he chose football over his family, but like football was his priority. And when they were in USC, they never moved when he went to Florida Atlantic, I don't think, with him. So I feel like, I mean, once again, don't know much about their personal life, but I feel like that maybe could have been when they kind of like strayed away from each other. When he went to Florida Atlantic, she was like, we just moved to California. I'm not going to move the whole family back.
Right.
So maybe like he's a changed person. They've talked through some things that would be awesome for their kids, for their family if they got back together. I would love to see it. But I know they're definitely cordial. They're hanging out like in the documentary. They're eating dinner all together. So who knows? It would be awesome if they were.
Yeah, it would. I mean, that's every divorced kid's dream, right? Is for their parents to get back together. And okay, if they're at a concert and the kids are there, then you're like, oh, they're just there for the kids. Now, if they're at a concert and it's just the two of them,
Yeah.
then it feels like it's a date night.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm kind of thinking they're back together, but who knows? Like I said, Lane's a master media manipulator. Like he does this stuff and he posts it because he wants to get people riled up, to get people talking about it. But is it true? I'm not sure.
Well, and I mean, isn't it all about you're in TV? Isn't it all about eyeballs on the screen? So
Yes.
the more this guy is just a lightning rod, the more people are watching Ole Miss football, the
Mm-hmm.
better it is for the school. More exposure, right?
100%. I mean, the amount of people that are talking about Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss football more than ever, I'm sure, as of now, just because of how many teams want him to be their coach. But I mean, what other names are you hearing? Like, I hear Lane Kiffin just about every day when I get on X or Instagram, just from different sports media companies. Where's Lane Kiffin going to go? What's Lane Kiffin saying today? You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy.
And he's going to string all these teams along that think they have a shot,
Yeah.
at going to the homecoming dance with Lane. And then
Right.
he's gonna take his girlfriend.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden they're like, well, I can't even get a date. And James Franklin's off the board, and it's like your second choice. Kind of like it was with Alabama. They Kalen DeBoer was not the first choice. He just wasn't.
No.
And they had put this weird, like, oh, we're going to have a new coach for Alabama in 72 hours. Well, the clock was ticking.
Yeah.
And I think he was probably fourth in line till they finally named him.
I'm kind of wondering how long is everyone going to wait? I keep seeing things where I saw today, Lane Kiffin's leaving Ole Miss and he will let them know after the Egg Bowl. So it's kind of like I don't think he is, but for LSU, Florida, I feel like those are really the only two that think they have a chance. It's like, how long do they wait until they decide, okay, we're done playing the game, he's not coming, or if he is, it's too late. You know what I mean? I don't know when they draw the line. Like, is it before playoffs? Is it after play? I mean, they don't really have a rush, I guess, because they've already fired their coaches at this point.
Yeah, I think the true deadline is for the other teams, right?
Yeah.
Because, okay, he's going to the playoffs. Ole Miss is going to the playoffs. The Egg Bowl is almost irrelevant to him because it's not like he's going to leave them to go coach somewhere else, even if he's going somewhere else. Maybe they want to announce it. Let's just say they want to be able to announce it. Let's say it's LSU. Okay, we're getting Lane Kiffin. Now he's in a super weird place with that team where he's coaching this team almost like a lame duck in the playoffs. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't think you're right. There's not going to be an announcement then before, unless he's staying at Ole Miss. I don't think he would say that he's leaving before the playoffs.
Gotcha.
Because I think he respects his team. What he told his team. Basically, I think he kind of told them, like, don't listen to the outside noise. The reason that people want me is because of y'all. I don't know if you saw that, like how y'all are doing. That's why people are interested in me, because of the product that we're producing. So that's a compliment to y'all. Because I feel like, yeah, it could be a distraction if you're sitting there like, I don't know, like, is my coach leaving? Is he going to be here for the playoffs? I don't think he would do that. I think he respects Ole Miss too much to leave before the playoffs, especially like how hard he's worked to get there. There's no way.
And I think Ole Miss would be a great town to recruit to. If I'm going into somebody's living room to sit down with the players' parents and I'm trying to recruit to Oxford versus Atlanta, I could say, look, you're in this quaint, smaller southern town. It's going to be a lot easier to stay out of trouble than if you're in a big city like Atlanta, Nashville, Charlotte, Miami, whatever. So I think that just adds a whole layer of a charm factor from a recruiting standpoint that a lot of people probably don't think about.
Yeah, the other night I saw that again on Lane's Instagram that at his son's high school football game, he had Trinidad Chambliss there, he had Keywan Lacey there, he had Winnie Watkins there, like half the Ole Miss team, not half the Ole Miss team, but a lot of the players are on a Friday night going with Lane to his son's high school football game, which I think is awesome. Like, what else are you going to do? I don't know, but you're staying out of trouble. You know what I mean? It was really cool to see, I feel like.
Oh, that's very cool. Okay. Dallas.
You're
in Dallas.
Yep.
What's the vibe there with the Longhorn Nation?
Okay, so my brother lived in Austin, obviously, because that's where UT is, which, okay, weird. I used to think UT of Tennessee, that's it. But then when you move to Dallas, everyone just says UT. And so you realize, wait, UT is also University of Texas. So I just had to clarify when I was talking about UT as University of Texas. But in Austin, there's a lot more Longhorns, and everyone's a little more vocal about, horns up. But not in Dallas.
Wait, let's clarify. You're not saying horns up.
No. They're saying
okay. I wanted to clarify. Oh, wow. Okay.
I do have a horns up, but I'm saying horns down. But I was actually telling you, I didn't realize when I moved here that everyone is not like a Georgia fan, an Alabama fan, or an Ole Miss fan. Like, we were born in the South. We were born in the SEC. Like, we love college football. Like, what are you doing on the weekend? It's in the fall. You better not have a wedding, because half your reception will be watching a football game, which last year I went to a wedding. And they pulled out like big screen TVs, and no one was on the dance floor. Everyone's watching Georgia games. So in the South, it's just completely different. Like, football is everything. We love going to football games on Saturdays. If you're not at a game, you're hosting a party for people to watch it, right?
Right.
Dallas is not so much like that. Like, we have SMU, right? In Dallas, it's literally an exit away from my house. But they just upset Miami, by the way, which was pretty impressive, right? Yeah, they did. But other than that, like, there's not a ton. There's TCU too in Fort Worth. No one like lives and breathes TCU, SMU football unless they went there. And I still don't feel like it's on a level that us fans that grew up in Georgia bleed Georgia football. You know what I mean? Like, it's just I don't know how to explain it. I don't feel like they're true SEC fans. Like, they just joined the SEC, and I feel like maybe when they go to these other games and realize, like, if some Texas people went to the Georgia game this weekend and they realize, like, whoa, this is like a different animal. You know what I mean? Like, these are like true college football fans. Then maybe they will kind of level up to that level. But right now, their fan base isn't the same as growing up, Georgia fan, Alabama fan.
Well, it's like Dallas. I mean, they've got the Mavs, they got the Cowboys, they got the Rangers, they got whatever their hockey team is.
Stars, yeah.
The Stars, and then you got the Longhorns, and then in Atlanta, you've got the Braves, the Hawks, the Falcons, whoever the hockey team is in Atlanta. I don't know. And then there's Georgia Tech. So it's just it's kind of like another activity versus the activity.
Right. 100%. Yeah. Like, unless you went there, I'm telling you, they have 50 other options that they could be doing in Dallas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. It feels like the people might be starting to get a little restless with Sarkisian.
I don't know. Like, I feel like, yes, maybe, especially, I mean, last year, I feel like they were more so last year than this year. I don't know. Do you feel that or no? Because I feel like I had heard a lot of, like, fire Sark. This year, I haven't heard it as much. Like, I'm a Arch Manning fan just because Eli went to Ole Miss. So I have that, and Archie. So I want to see Archie succeed, but I hear more of not happy with Arch Manning's performance than fire Sark, just from being in Dallas around the people.
I think it would have been a lot more interesting to see Arch with last year's supporting cast, which the line was better. I think he had more receivers like Bond. The running game might have been a little better. because this year's been tough. He had to replace his whole offensive line.
He
So
started the year with Ohio State too, to like begin
right,
the year. He
right.
all this NIL money. They put so much pressure on him to be a certain, like their expectations for him were really high. And
Yeah.
he even said, someone was asking him about all the like hype that he was getting and stuff. And this was like a press conference early on before he even played, I think. And he was like, honestly, I don't deserve it yet. Like I haven't proved myself. So I don't know. I'm cheering for the guy, but I feel like the Texas fans definitely had really high expectations for him, and he hasn't met them yet. And so they're like all upset about it, but I don't know.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I mean, the expectations were through the roof, and anything other than a Heisman and a national championship was failure.
Right.
I don't know what just happened there. But he's a sympathetic character too, because like my wife's watching him and she's like, oh my gosh, I want this kid to do well.
Yeah.
He seems like a likable guy.
Yeah.
It's not like he's a villain, right?
Right.
It's somebody that you look at this guy and you're pulling for him, right? And
Yeah.
and if he had come into this season and they were going, hey, Texas is probably going to go 9-3, they're going to maybe go to the playoffs. He might be in the Heisman discussion. Then he's having a great year.
Yeah.
But because of the expectations where they are, this year's a failure. It's really not a failure.
I mean, think it's his first full year playing starting quarterback for a big school.
Right.
SEC, who every single weekend, regardless of their ranking, every team you play in the SEC is a tough team that could definitely beat you any given weekend. I don't care who it is.
All right, I've got a tough question for you, and it just came into my mind.
Oh, gosh.
It's January 19th in Miami.
Okay.
And Ole Miss is playing Georgia.
Who am I cheering for?
Who are you cheering for?
I gotta say Ole Miss.
Oh no!
I'm sorry.
No, I get it. That's your school. That makes sense.
That's cool. Hey, if we tied, that would be amazing. That would be ideal. But I'm gonna have to say Ole Miss.
Now, you mentioned your brother earlier, but we didn't mention him by name, so we need to name drop Chandler.
Chandler, he is the better of the siblings. I don't know. You obviously know Chandler, but I don't know if you know that he's very smart and he's very athletic. So he never has to like work at anything. He's the kid that you see that is naturally good at everything, and he does work hard, but I feel like he doesn't have to work hard at anything. Like he just got all the good genes. I tell people all the time.
Oh, I don't think you missed out too much. He is just also such a nice guy. I mean, he's just that guy that comes up to you and talks to you like he's known you forever. It's a shame that he's so short and he has to fight against the short king syndrome out there. And for anybody who doesn't know Chandler, I think, is he 6'5"?
Dude, I think I tell people he's 6'7" sometimes, but I think he's like 6'6", 6'6.5". I don't really know. But do you know Dr. Vernon by chance?
I do. See him all the time.
Yes. So he was our doctor and he was our pediatrician. And I'll never forget, like I hear my parents tell the story all the time and I can't remember. I think Chandler was a baby, but he looked at my parents and he was like, yeah, like he'll probably be around 6'7". And my mom was like, what? And my dad's like, what? And it was something to do with like measuring. They measure something and they were like, yep, your son.
I think it's a bone. It's a certain bone they measure. Yeah.
They say, is it your femur or it's something they measure. And they said that he was going to be, Dr. Vernon said he was going to be 6'7". And my parents were like, there's no way. There's no way. And then sure enough, he's like right up there. And we're all just like, what? I mean, my dad claims he was 6'4", but now I can be taller than my dad in heels. He's like 6 foot, maybe 6'1" at this point.
Well, that's what men do. We shrink. I used to be able to say that I was 6 feet and I'm definitely compacted down to a robust 5'10".
Yeah. Yeah. Not hating, but my parents were like, there's no way our son's going to be 6'7". And he's right there. I mean, I think he's like a true 6'6", 6'6.5".
Now, do you see yourself ever coming back to Macon, or are you a big city girl now?
So I'm not gonna lie, I have major FOMO because my brother just moved back there this year. And to be honest, I never thought that he would move back. I don't know why. I saw myself moving back before he would move back. But now that he moved back, they'll go over to my parents to eat dinner, or they'll be at Elsom and they'll be texting me, or they'll be doing this. And I honestly, I have FOMO. I'm like, oh, I miss it. But the hard thing is, I moved out here. I have my own LLC for medical sales. So I have built up a great business in Dallas. And when I leave, I kind of have to get rid of that because you have to start from ground zero, basically building a medical sales business when you're by yourself. Like, I'm not with a big corporate company where I could transfer to Macon. Like, I have my surgeons and my products here. So I kind of have to start from the bottom. So that's kind of what's keeping me in Dallas. But I will say my one thing with Macon, like, I love Macon. I miss it more than I ever thought I would. But I love all the restaurants in Dallas. I love having different like workout studios to go to. I told my mom today, honestly, like, we have a lot of malls and stuff, but the shopping in Macon low-key is better because there's a lot of like good boutiques for girls. It's crazy. Like, Dallas, you have these big malls and like big designer stores and Highland Park Village, but like not truly good boutiques. Like, Macon has better shopping, which is shocking to me.
All right, I'm going to channel your parents right now.
Okay.
And they would say, Kristin, you can sell your LLC to a rising star just like yourself, and then come to Macon and form another LLC. And you know all the doctors here, and you could do the exact same thing. And think about all the boutiques that we have here that you miss so badly.
Okay, listen, this is what I'm going to say. I'm just putting this out there. There could be a chance in the future where my dad needs someone to take over his business. And it's not going to be my brother. He's an engineer. That's his thing. It's funny. Like, I'm like my dad. I'm all up in the moto thing. My brother, he could care less, to be completely honest. He's going in and he's going to be an engineer. So he has his thing going on. I could take over my dad's business. And then I also could do my broadcast stuff on the side and get rid of the medical sales. That could be in my future. I'm not saying I've like set on that, but it's definitely something I've thought about.
Could you do a broadcasting collab with the MadDawg show? Maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Like an in-studio collab. I'm not kidding. I want to start a podcast. So the fact that you've like done this, I think I've told you that before. It's like hard to start a podcast. Like, you're always like, there's so many. Like, what am I going to talk about? Who am I going to get? Like, it's so oversaturated, blah, blah. So the fact that you've started a podcast and, you know, have all these guests on, that's impressive.
Well, I am not a technology person. So first of all, I've had help with that. But once you get that going, that's easy. The reason you do a podcast is for yourself. Like, talking about my feelings and emotions about Georgia, college football, you know, how I think ESPN and the CFP are in cahoots, talking to all my friends about it. And you know, talking to all these players that have been, you know, my heroes, superheroes growing up. It's just so much fun. I mean, Tim Worley is the co-host of this podcast.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Never
Like,
would have said,
yeah. So, I mean, start a motocross podcast, and even if your only fan is you to start with, who cares?
Yeah. No, I have an idea. I have an idea. It's coming soon when I have a weekend off to film. I've got it all, like, immediate doc of it. It's coming soon in the future.
So you've got one kind of cooked up in your head?
Yeah, I have like a full like presentation. I'll send it to you after this. Like, just like a media, what did I call it? Like a media pitch, basically a pitch deck. That's kind of what I'll text it to you after this. Of an idea I think that no one else is doing in the motorcycle industry yet, and that I could be the first one to do it. So it's in the future.
I've got some stuff that I'm not doing yet, but that I want to do, that I can tell you about, that probably would just, if you did it, it would just take your idea to the moon.
Okay. Sweet. See, look, we're already collaborating.
For collabing. Love it. And I mean, your family's got to love me, because I think I made a strong pitch for Macon.
Yeah, no, I'm Chandler and Hallie moving back there too. I'm not kidding. I do have FOMO. Like the last couple of years, last year I went home for Thanksgiving, but then before that, like I'm working the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, sometimes the Friday after. When you work at a hospital, it just never shuts down. Like I'm working Christmas Eve this year. Last year I didn't come home for Christmas. I came home the weekend after. I can't remember when was Christmas, like on Wednesday, Thursday. I came home like Friday, Saturday, because we worked Christmas Eve day after. So long story short, it's hard to come home around the holidays. But Chandler and them being there, I'm like, yep, I'll be home Wednesday night as soon as I get done. You know, I can't miss out on any of the activities now that they're there.
Oh, absolutely not.
No, for sure not.
It's not terribly hard to get from DFW to Atlanta, though.
No, so I actually fly out of Love Field. I live 10
Oh, do
minutes
you?
Love Field. So
Yeah.
I'm like Southwest girl, used to be Delta girl, but I show up to the airport like 10 minutes before boarding. I wish I was lying. I'm not lying. I'm usually coming from work. There has been multiple times where I've had to valet my car because I've been pushing it so close, but I'm not kidding. You literally pull up, you jump out of your car, they get your bag out, and then they already have my number. I just give them my cell phone, and then they're like, all right, you're good. Like, it takes 2 seconds, and I have TSA pre-clear, and so it takes me literally from parking to getting to the airport, I would say, like, through to my gate, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So it's like
Love Field.
It's ideal.
Love's really easy to get in and out of.
And like also I go West Coast for work, East Coast for work. So I'm not any longer than 4 hours. I mean, 2.5 hours to 3 hours. I can be in California. I can be over here. It's awesome.
Now, when you say for work, you're talking in the motorsports world, right?
Yes, because I'm traveling just about every weekend for races and stuff. So that's my other thing to Dallas is it's so nice because Atlanta Airport, let's be realistic. Like I'm not showing up right before. I'm going to get there 2 hours early at least, even with TSA pre and clear. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, let's just call it like it is. The Atlanta Airport sucks.
Yeah, I mean, and driving so when I went Georgia Ole Miss game, I love flying out early if I can have a full Sunday. So there's like a 6 a.m. flight, I think. And we stayed at our lake house in Lake Oconee after the Georgia game. We left at like 3:30 a.m. or something to get to the airport because I want to be there before 5. Because once it hits 5, that's when everyone shows up for like the 6 o'clock flight. But if I get there at like 4:55, I figured it out. Then no one's there and I just go straight through. And so my dad like wakes up at 3 a.m., takes me at 3:30, and then I land in Dallas at 7:30. It's kind of nice. And I'll be at work by 8. So it works out because then I get a full Sunday. But that's a whole situation.
I nominate Donnie for Dad of the Year for getting up at 3 a.m. to take his daughter to the airport.
Way too often. Way too often.
I'd be like, how much is a car? Can we pay a car?
He does it all the time. I'm not even gonna lie. And then like the day before Thanksgiving, I'm probably gonna land at like 9 p.m. He's gonna pick me up, which is way past his bedtime. He goes to bed at like 8. He'll pick me up and then drive. Shoot, that's the other thing too. Sometimes it takes like 2 hours to get to Macon now. It's crazy.
I know. You never know what you're gonna get on 75.
Yeah, never know.
All right, we've gone overtime just because we're just over here gabbing like some girls.
We didn't even talk about Georgia football. Can I just say one thing about Georgia football?
Yes.
So I didn't watch y'all's game this weekend, which I normally do.
Wait, time out. Wait.
It was
y'all's. Are we now y'all's game for you?
Our game. I didn't watch my second team's game this weekend because it was the same time as Ole Miss. It was 30 minutes after. So y'all were I'm Central Time. We were at 6. Y'all were 6:30 start for Central Time. So I didn't watch, but I did see that onside kick, and that was awesome. Loved it. Loved to see it. That was
the ballsiest, most brilliant call, just executed with surgical precision, really just perfection.
Like that was literally the textbook perfect onside kick right there.
Yeah. It's just an absolute dagger in their back. You know, they were already on their heels.
Yeah.
Thought they're going to have a shot to maybe close the gap. And then when we made it 28-10, it's a 3-score game. It's over.
Yeah.
Effectively, it's over.
Oh, and then my other comment is I love like stories. That's why I like broadcasting. And I watched the story on Lawson Lucky's brother, Cannon. Did you see
Yeah.
all that on ESPN?
Yeah.
So he scored like 3 touchdowns maybe against Ole Miss.
Yep.
So I kind of, like, I'm glad y'all won. I'm glad he scored those touchdowns. I'm glad his brother was there to witness it. I'm glad y'all beat us, honestly. I'm living with it. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really cool. I mean, it's obviously tragic. It's tragic what his brother has to live with, but it's very cool what he does in a tribute to him.
I mean, the way that he, after the Ole Miss Georgia game, had probably the best game of his career, and he goes home to hang out with his brother was, oh my gosh, all those stories make me cry. And I'm not a crier.
My wife is, but
Yeah.
that definitely made her cry. She loved that story.
Oh my gosh, I love the game day stories like that, though. Love them.
All right, last thing, where will you be this weekend? Are you flying off somewhere?
Okay, so I'm going to be at the hospital this weekend. But then next weekend, I'm going to be in Indianapolis. No, next weekend, I'm going to be in Macon, Georgia. The next weekend, I'm going to be in Indianapolis. The weekend after that, I'm going to be in Boise, Idaho. And then I'm going to have a break for Christmas. And then I can't tell you where I'm going to be after that because I haven't memorized that. But January to March, I'm going to be somewhere every weekend.
Okay, so when you're doing this, are you doing it with a particular channel, or is it with a particular company, or how does that work?
Okay, so basically I'm like a contractor, I guess would be the right word, because I'm with all different networks. Like for Arena Cross, we actually haven't decided what network we're going with yet, but like last year we were on MAV TV. TBD what we're going to be with by December 20th. Not sure yet. With IHRA, it's on Speed Sport 1. With I've done some other car stuff. There's this thing called Crandon. We were with Racer TV, which is the new MAV TV. So just a bunch of different like motorsports network, just depending on who has a contract with who, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it is. That's an interesting world, just a niche demographic, whatever you want to call it.
I kind of have it made because I'm not with one network to where, like, if I were with just Racer TV or whatever, then I would only be able to do their events. But so that's kind of how football is. Like, if you're with Fox Sports, then you're only covering Fox Sports games. Like, no chance of doing anything else. But for the motorsports world, it's a little different as to where you can like play the field and do different things just because you don't have like a set contract or non-compete with other networks. So it's kind of cool.
Right. So you go to these events. I mean, these riders.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they know, oh, there's Kristin. I'm going to talk to Kristin. So you've like established friendships with these people.
Oh yeah, especially. So that's why I like IHRA, Arena Cross. Those are my two main ones. I'm with the same riders and drivers every weekend, and that's kind of how you build the rapport. And I'm always interviewing them after races. And my favorite thing is for people at home or watching get to see their personalities, because a lot of times that doesn't come through just because, I mean, they're at work, they're doing a job, it's more serious. You know how it is with like football players, they're pretty, at press conference, they're kind of media coached on what they can say and what they can't. And I'm kind of trying to cross that line a little bit just because I'm like, these guys are good personalities. I've seen them act not on TV. Like, just show your personality. Like, the more personality you have, the more fans you get. Like, people want to see you win. Oh, that's that guy. Like, he's awesome. He's funny. Like, oh, that's the villain. Like, we don't really like him, but also, like, I don't know. Like, we'll provoke him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I like showing their personalities. And so it was funny when I started IHRA, a lot of people had kind of messaged me and said stuff to me like, whoa, I didn't know some of these guys were like, usually these guys don't talk and you've gotten them to talk because they're just used to very like cookie cutter answers. Like, how was your car? It was great. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you want to know more. Like I like to get in and get, some of those deeper heartfelt answers.
So I'm sure a lot of people listening to this won't know because I don't know. What does IHRA stand for?
International Hot Rod Association.
Okay.
They're like the outlaw drag racing series. There's a guy that just bought it named Daryl Cuttle, and he is buying up all this different stuff. So I'm literally so thankful that I'm a part of the reboot, the rebrand, because he just bought a drag boat racing series, tractor pulling. Shoot, I don't even know. He's buying all this different series up. So hopefully I'll be able to work on some more of those in the next year, 2026. I'm going to be busy, I think.
He's just trying to consolidate that space and maybe rebrand it.
Yeah. So he basically, he wants more racing, trying to compete with NHRA. IHRA kind of fell off. NHRA is National Hot Rod Association, which you probably a lot more people know about. It's on Fox Sports, like Tony Stewart races it, like bigger names. So he wants to compete with that, has put a lot of money into it. We're like the Outlaw Series. We do things a little different, but it's a good time. And I've loved my time there so far. So we'll see.
What if NASCAR came calling?
Okay, so I actually haven't thought about it. I've thought about F1, to be honest. I haven't thought about NASCAR, but I will say, like, my Erin Andrews is probably Jamie Little, and she does NASCAR, but she did Supercross at one point, and then she went to NASCAR. So I'll never say never, and I tell everyone's like, will you go back to football? Like, what, would you, if they came calling, would you go to football? I'm like, nope, I'm branding myself as motorsports only. So if it has a motor, if it's fast, sign me up. Speedboats, check, sign me up. NASCAR,
sure. That's awesome.
Something to get my adrenaline pumping.
There you go. There you go. Well, Kristin, thank you so much for joining me today. You have been awesome. This has been an atypical MadDawg show. We've kind of gone all over the place, from Lane Kiffin gossip to your world to the vibe in Dallas to everything. It's been awesome.
I love it. Love it.
You'll have to come back.
I will. I will come back one day when Lane Kiffin has won a national championship.
Well, don't wait. Hold on. You can't put that qualifier on it. We need to have you back before that.
Yeah. Okay. Before that.
All right. Well, before we sign off, can I get you to say "Go Dogs"?
Oh yeah, for sure. Go Dogs and hotty toddy.
Go Dogs.